Hello, it's Uncle Ben. I'm going to keep this one a little short because it's late. It is currently 9 o'clock at night on Monday, February 27th. I had a pretty good day today. It started off slow. Professor Fertney in Cell Lab this morning, the projector wasn't working. So we all viewed the lecture. She gave the lecture out loud, and we watched on our screens. We had to pass through the slides as she told it. It's interesting. Nowadays, when we have all these devices, we're able to have the backup like that. Additionally, I did well in the second half of the transport exam. That was today. There was one part that I specifically changed my answer, and I'm glad that I did because I originally had it wrong. And then I found out on the bonus, because I got to the bonus question, and there was a number there that was given, which meant that my previous answer could not have been correct. And so for the bonus question, for the problem statement to be correct, my answer previous couldn't be. And so I went with I already had some misgivings about that answer, but I changed it, and thinking back on, well, not just thinking back on it, as soon as the test was done, I walked out and I looked up the answer, and it turns out that what I finally had on paper was correct. And so, yay, I dodged that bullet. But it goes to show, always be observant about your surroundings. You never know when little clues will help you succeed. And so, yeah, just be wary, not wary, just remember to look at your surroundings. When you're walking at night, you don't always have to look behind you to know what's there. If there's a car coming up behind you, and there's a sign in front of you, you should be able to see the car's headlights and the sign in front of you. And therefore, if you are walking at night, or just walking anywhere, and you see something change in front of you, there's a chance that information gives context to what's going on behind you. And that's kind of an analogy there. Uncle Ben's Life Hacks. Additionally, I had 3 really good meals today. This morning, after going on a run, I made myself a really good meatball sandwich. I smushed the meatballs, cooked them in the microwave for a little bit to cook them through, and then I stuck them on some focaccia bread, which is really good. And I'm going through it really well. My last loaf of focaccia bread, I did not get through all of it, and I lost some of it. I lost a good third of a loaf to mold. It's not a good feeling. Anyway. But this one, the sandwich, I finished the meatballs in the toaster oven, because one of my roommates got a toaster oven this semester. So I finished the meatballs in the toaster oven, so they're nice and crispy on top, nice and browned on top there, as if I was baking them. And I did. And then the other slice of bread, the top half, I toasted it first. I put it through one toast cycle, and then I put it through another toast cycle, or more of a bake cycle, with cheese on it. So I put a bunch of mozzarella on there. and that melted and got really nice and gooey. And then I put a little bit of Parmesan on there and got that all nice and melty. And some herbs on that one side. And then the last minute of cooking, I put some red sauce on both halves. And so I had some nice red sauce in here. It was a really good sandwich. That is like the best breakfast that I've made for myself in about a month. So, yeah. And I made some really good oatmeal in this time. So, this just left me really satisfied. Today, I also went to Krishna lunch. Mondays are pretty good. They're not as good as Fridays. Because the stew is about the same as Friday's stew. But Friday has cheesy potatoes. And you just can't get by those. It's salt and fat and umami and cheese. You can't get past that. There is, so long as it's not overpowering, which in that case it's not, and you have it with the chili and the rice that comes with it, when you have those all together, it doesn't overpower each other, and it's just so good. Anyway, tonight, or just now, I made teriyaki salmon, which is the first time I've cooked up the nerve to cook fish in the dorm. So it's been 2.5 years that I've just done turf, and now, or turf and shrimp. But I now finally cooked up the nerve to do salmon, and oh, that came out really nice. I'm afraid I don't have a picture of it, but I did teriyaki salmon. I should have kicked it a little bit more on the stovetop, but when I finished it in the oven, I put some teriyaki sauce on there. Halfway through the process, I pulled it out, ladled, rebasted the fish again with what had dripped off and was caramelizing on the pan. So I did that, and then I put a little bit of sesame oil over top, and it was really nice. Anyway, additionally, some good news. Last week, I forgot to say this. Last week, I went and put in my security deposit for my house or my apartment next year, which is fun. The people there were nice. I don't remember their names, but they were nice. We had a nice little conversation about cross country. I was wearing Stanton gear, and someone thought that it was a different school, and so that struck up a conversation. Anyway, nice people. I'm looking forward to living there next year. It was really windy today. When I was escorting my friends around on the bike, because I ran this morning, I went to run club practice this evening and just rode my bike around. Because I have a race this weekend, I'm not doubling, where I run twice a day, but I like to get back out of the house in the afternoons, and it's also kind of my routine. I go exercise, come back, cook dinner, have dinner, shower, go to bed. So it kind of helps me with that rhythm of getting to sleep and all that stuff. Just key point there, Uncle Ben's life hacks. If you can have one thing one overarching thing about your life is that rhythm is important. The body naturally works in rhythms. You have the rhythm of life, birth, growth, death, and then rebirth from those materials. You have the rhythm of the year. You have winter, spring, autumn, or winter, spring, summer, fall, winter. And you have the rhythm of your day and of your week. And the body responds to rhythm. If you have a rhythm to your life, then it means that you're not it's harder to miss things. The natural rhythm of your body can be reset. Not reset, more of hardwired. Over a couple weeks to a month, given a certain routine, your body will catch on. At some point, especially through high school, I sometimes found myself waking up before my alarm. And this is a common occurrence across a lot of people. It's because somehow our bodies know when it's time. You have to really screw up your time. You have to really be You have to be really tired. You have to either go to bed really late or really early to mess up that timing, in which your body knows when to wake up. It knows when to get hungry. It knows that light means day and dark means night, but only because we've told it that. And so, if you don't provide that rhythm, if you're doing something different every single week, every single month, then you can sometimes get lost. And so having markers in your life that are specific obligations that you do can help provide you with rhythm and stability in life. And every good ladder needs a good foundation. Basically, to reach high and to achieve, you need to make sure that you're sturdy and you have your basis from which to expound upon. I found that having routine and also concentrating on food, it's a little selfish there, ain't it? Anyway, food, people, routine are really good anchor points. Find yourself something you like to do. For me, I like to cook. I like to eat. I like to experience. I have my routine with people. You either have to be really disciplined by yourself or allow outside factors to help in your regimen. Have a friend group that you do something with on a consistent basis. If you get all of those right, you're golden. Don't worry, it takes time. I am not there. There are things that right now I just had an obligation that left. It's no longer a part of my life. Or it's not a part of my life right now. So I am hoping that this is able to help me focus on those things. And also, it's an obligation to you all. hopefully these are at least partially entertaining. And I know that I said it was going to be short, but it's now 15 minutes of grainy footage of my bedroom. Anyway, I love you all. Good night.